Let's just say for the record, having sex is not always fun. I remember a time that feels not so long ago when an innocent night out with friends turned surprisingly unfortunate. Sure, going out with your friends seems harmless because you're with people that you trust, but that was not the case for me. We went to a party where my supposed friend put some kind of pill into my drink. He did this while I was using the washroom. Before I knew it, I was in a room and he was undressing me. The power I knew I had was drained, and it was as though I couldn't move. I'm saying no with all my power, but I'm almost as silent as a mouse. He does not listen. His eyes so empty, but still I tried to fight it until I became unconscious. When I awoke, I did not move as I hoped it was all just a dream. I touched my body and all I felt was the nakedness of my skin. I turned my head to the side and he was passed out cold. I quickly gathered my clothing off the floor and ran straight out of there. Where should I go, I thought. Did he know what he did to me? Does he care? I thought we were friends. 1,000,001 questions built a wall in my head. I was frightened and alone. I ran home and I totally shut down. I put on a pretend smile and acted as though nothing had changed. I soon seen my best friend, and we were alone at her grandma's house, and I couldn't keep the dreadful secret anymore, not knowing if she would have the words of wisdom I sought or the hug I longed for. But I told her, and we sat there staring at one another crying, just knowing she could somehow feel how I felt as she gave me a hug and told me to let it all out. She asked if I was going to lay charges, but at the time the walls were so thickly built that the thought was not there to charge him. That was a hard evening, but with my friend's encouragement and support, I found the strength to take matters back into my own hands. I knew I needed to get tested, so I went to the health clinic. How ashamed of myself I felt as I waited for the doctor to come and examine me. I felt as though there was still dirt all over me, and everyone could see the dirty marks that this man had left all over me. The doctor came in and asked a few questions, and then asked if I also wanted to get an HIV test. I could feel my temperature rise, and that's when the panic set in. Did I contract HIV? Could I have a sexually transmitted infection? Am I going to be all right? Even though I was scared to do these tests, I knew I had to do it for my own peace of mind. The next few weeks I waited patiently, but at the same time was anxious. While waiting for the results, I prayed, I smudged, and I surrounded myself with the close friends and family. I started to think how things could start getting better for me, and I set my focus towards that. Singing our ceremonial and powwow and of course our people's round dance songs helped me to overcome some of the feelings that I had about being raped. The results were in. I was safe, surprisingly. I had no sexually transmitted infections and a negative HIV test, but I know it will all take time for me as a whole to heal, and I suppose you can say I'm still on my healing journey, and a new positive one. I never did see him again either. I'm thankful for that. This is only one of many stories about how a night out with friends can turn tragic. This is my story. It humbles me, and I thank you for letting me share it with you. I am hopeful that this story will inspire other First Nations youth to recognize the importance of getting help after situations like mine, to get back to being the person they are meant to be.